Κυρίες και κύριοι, καλησπέρα σας. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to our webinar today, and thank you all for being here. This is our 7th in the Doing Business In series, and the last of our 2020 webinars, which is a very challenging year indeed. My name is Betty Alexandropoulou, and I am the Executive Director and Board Member of Enterprise Greece, the national agency that promotes Greek exports and investment in Greece. Our Doing Business in digital event series focus on challenge and opportunities for Greek companies in accessing and expanding trade in key markets. These webinars were launched in an effort to further support Greek exporters and small businesses in cooperation with our economic and commercial affairs offices of our Greek diplomatic missions abroad. The 7 such webinars that we have organized so far this year have drawn more than 1,000 participants. We chose to dedicate the last one of the year to Saudi Arabia, a market of strategic priority for Greece. We have with us today prominent speakers from the Greek and Saudi business community, with a focus on the food and beverage and construction sectors. At this point, I would like to thank Mr. Thomopoulos, the former head of our Commercial and Economic Affairs Office in Saudi Arabia, for his invaluable help in organizing this event. At the same time, let me extend a warm welcome to the new head, Mr. Alexandros Ikonomou, who just took up his post in Jeddah. We look forward to also working closely with him in this dynamic market. And last but not least, I would like to thank our speakers and panelists here today, Dr. Savannah Dahlan, Mr. Al-Gamdi, Mr. Yasser Jad, and Mr. Konstantinos Bosnakidis. Greek exports have proved resilient during this difficult year. With gains in some markets and declines in others, the overall growth of Greek exports in 2020 stands at a 1.5%, excluding petroleum and its products. The 2020 oil crisis related to COVID affected our bilateral trade with Saudi Arabia because of the large share of petroleum and its products in our export portfolio. As a result, the Saudi market dropped from the 14th to the 25th spot in our destination market rankings. We are entering, though, a new year, with medical breakthroughs imminent, and 2021 presents great momentum for rebooting trade relations between our countries. The visit of the Greek Prime Minister in Saudi Arabia in February signaled a new era in our bilateral economic relations. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Enterprise Greece have since placed Saudi Arabia in its strategic priorities as a market destination in a targeted policy of reshaping our strategic partnerships in the Middle East and the Gulf region. The Saudi National Development Agenda 2030 is based on the key vision of sustainability and diversification of its economy. This coincides with the priorities set for the new vision for the Greek economy and creates further opportunities for Greek exports and products and services. The most immediate opportunity is in the Greek food and beverage sector, as well as that of the construction materials sector. These may contribute towards existing and potential market gaps given the current challenges and opportunities during the COVID-19 era. Greece's world-renowned olive oil, fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as prepared foodstuffs, hold significant growth potential in the Saudi market. The exquisite taste and quality of Greek foods and the health benefits of the Mediterranean diet account for the constant rise of Greek food exports over the last decade. A thriving technological sector is emerging in Greece and brings innovation and added value to traditional sectors such as construction materials, which has traditionally been a dynamic sector in our bilateral trade. In this respect, light manufacturing products such as marble and metals, as well as others, have further room to expand. Inspired by Greek culture over millennia, modern Greek design is establishing a name for Greek style around the world. In architecture, interior design, products, jewelry, clothing, and accessories, Greek design is winning international accolades. Consumer goods also show a significant dynamic in the kingdom's market. Our consistent presence in major exhibitions, such as the Big Five in the construction sector and Expo Dubai 2020, which will be held next year, provides an excellent opportunity for repositioning Greece in the region. Enterprise Greece is organizing the Greek Pavilion, and we look forward to cooperating with our Saudi counterparts for joint events and promotion activities there. I would now like to pass the floor to Mr. Thomopoulos, who will share with us his invaluable experience, having served for 5 years in our Economic and Commercial Office in Jeddah. Thank you, and Mr. Thomopoulos, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mrs. Alexandropoulou. I believe I can't see you. You can see me. First of all, my name is Nikos Thomopoulos. I'm the Economic and Commercial Counselor. I was head of the Economic and Commercial Office in Jeddah for till this summer. And now I'm in Croatia, in Zagreb. Let's see about Saudi Arabia. When we are say Saudi Arabia, in our minds come desert. Okay, most of the land of Saudi Arabia is a desert, but Saudi Arabia also has valleys in the west side and also plains in the north side. Also, it has large mountains, about 3,000 meters in the south. Also, when we are thinking about Saudi Arabia, there are other two things that comes in our minds: oil and Islam. It is true that oil and Islam, there are two key factors of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has the largest crude oil reserves in the world, about 18%, and it is the largest exporter of petroleum. And also, it is the place of the two Islamic holy mosques, one in Mecca and one in Medina. It's an Islamic state, and the official title of the King of Saudi Arabia is custodian of the two holy mosques. Saudi Arabia holds a number of membership of several councils and international organizations such as UN, WTO, G20, OPEC. It's a founder and key member. It's member of the Gulf Cooperation Council. It's a political economic union like the European Union of all Arab states of the Gulf monarchies: Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, and is also member of GAFTA, or Pan-Arab Free Trade Area. It's a free trade area of 17 Arab states: Algeria, Bahrain. You see them. Also, as an Islamic state, is a member of Organization of Islamic Cooperation. It's an international organization of 57 Muslim majority countries. The country profile, the regime, government type, it's an absolute Islamic monarchy. The area, it's about 2.15 million square kilometers. Population in 2019, it's 34.5 million. 21.5 was citizen, and 13 million are not citizen. The legal system is the Islamic law. Capital, it's Riyadh, and the main cities are Jeddah, Daman, Mecca, Medina. In those 5 cities lives half of the population. In Riyadh has about 7 million inhabitants, Jeddah 3 to 4, Daman 2, Mecca 1.7, Medina 1.5. The GDP is 793 billion USD. So Saudi Arabia is the 19th wealthiest country in the world, and the GDP per capita is 23,000 USD approximately. The currency is Real, and it is pegged to USD from 1986. The exchange rate is 3.75. In 2019, the exchange rate with euro was about 4.2. VAT was presented in Saudi Arabia at the 1st of 2018, was 5%. After the crisis of the COVID, now from July 2020 is 15%. The import duties also changed from 0 to 5%, have become between 10 and 20% from 10th of June 2020. Let's see about the foreign trade. Here it's a diagram you will see from 2015 to 2019. With the yellow line is the total exports. The red line is the total imports. The blue line is the balance. And the dotted, not dust line, it's the oil export. I have put this line here to show you and to see the dependence of Saudi's export from oil exports. See those two lines, how parallel they are. So let's go to bilateral trade. Bilateral trade between Saudi Arabia and Greece, if you see, it's dominated by mineral fuels and oils. About 80%, 85% of our export to Saudi Arabia, and about 98% of our imports from Saudi Arabia are from mineral fuels and oils and their products of distillation. Our other exports are some pharmaceuticals, olives, cotton seeds, marble, fresh kiwi. Because of the dependence, I have seen from Saudi economy from oil, they have decided in 2016, Saudi Arabia has adopted and developed a reformation program aiming to reduce its dependence on oil and gas sector and to diversify its economy. The main goals of this program are to increase the share of non-oil exports in non-oil GDP from 16 to 50%. Today it's about 23. To increase private sector's contribution to GDP from 40% to 65%. To increase contribution of the small and medium enterprises to GDP from 20 to 35%. To increase foreign direct investment from 3.8 to 5.7 of GDP, to lower the unemployment rate from 11.6 to 7%. Today it's about 6%. They have succeeded in this goal. To increase women's participation in the workforce from 22 to 30%. This goal has also, as a result, the changes in the society. For example, from December of 2019, there are no sex segregation anymore in Saudi Arabia. Another goal is to increase the public investment funds assets from 600 billion SAR to 7 trillion SAR. To raise the ranking from the e-government survey index from 36 to the top 5, to raise the ranking of the government effectiveness index from 80% to 20%, to raise the ranking on the global competitiveness index from 25 to top 10%. To raise ranking in the logistic performance index from 49 to 25, and also to move from the current position of the 90th largest economy in the world into the top 15. Let's go now to doing business. We can do business in you can do business in Saudi Arabia either with offshore trading, make direct import or export, or through a commercial agent, or you can establish a local firm, a local branch office, or a local liability company, or a joint venture, joint stock company. Let's see about the imports. imports can do only Saudi-owned companies or Saudi nationals, because in many cases the Saudi law requires the importer to be registered either with Ministry of Agricultural, either in Saudi Food and Drug Authority, even on both of them. Generally, it is not required in official agent or distributor to import goods, except for certain products which are subject to health and sanitary regulation. In Greek language, we call them υγειονομικού ενδιαφέροντος. In these cases, we are talking about food and healthcare products and medicine, of course. So the Saudi law requires to know the name of the company or the Saudi national who imports these products. A certificate of conformity also from the export country is required for the most of the important products. There is a list of authorized authority in every country which gives this certificate of conformity. In Greece, there is for food, it's the General Directorate of Animal Health. A fixed and labeling. A fixed and removable indication of the country of origin is obligatory for all the importing products on the body, on the container if it's bulk, or in the packaging. Advertising materials, excluding calendars, may be imported duty-free. Also duty-free, you can import free distributed catalogs and brochures. But temporary importation is allowed with an invoice stating that the goods will be re-exported. Commercial samples have to have an indication not for sale, no commercial value, and is required a refundable custom duty deposit. You will take back this deposit in 12 months after the re-export. Duties on samples of jewelry and watches are non-refundable. Usually, the custom value is calculated on the basis of the chief value, cost, insurance, freight. Also, there are a number of goods that are banned. It's prohibited. Their import is prohibited. It's pork, as we say. Saudi Arabia is an Islamic state, so pork and alcohol are forbidden. Gambling and pornographic materials, used tires, used cars older than 5 years old. You can find this list of the prohibited imports. I believe that my presentation will upload it either in the site of Enterprise Greece or it will upload it on Agora, on e-portal of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So you can find also the general and specific procedure and formalities by product name over HS code to the site of the European Commission Trade Database. Also, this link will send you there. Government tenders procurement, we have a new law from 1st December 2019. Pillar of the new law is the electronic government procurement system, ETIMAD portal. You can find it in this link here. This portal consolidates everything, facilitates the process, and accepting bids and awards contracts. We have also investment programs. Investment programs are by sector. There are 9 sectors. Every sector have this program. If you click any link of this, let's say energy and water, you will go to the Saudi Invest to Invest Saudi, where you can find all the current investment programs. All these. Let's go there, for example. So you'll find all the details, and you can register here and ask for more details and apply also. this is the prohibited. I have to close because I have to finish. So last but not least, the Economic and Commercial Affairs Office in Jeddah. My successor is Mr. Alexandros Economou. He is senior to me. And here you will find the data, the communication data of our office. Also, this is the web site of our office. If you go, it's the portal of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where you can find all the, yeah, here. It has my name till now, but it will change. Thank you very much. Now I pass the floor to Mrs. Sofana Dahlan. It's an attorney at law, founder of SRD legal firm. Thank you very much.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Sofana Dahlan. I'm an attorney and a founder of SRD legal firm, the first Saudi female legal firm in Saudi, established in 2013. I'd like today to just give an overview about the opportunities that Saudi Arabia has. Saudi Arabia is considered now the land of growing business and investment. The Vision 2030 clearly stated an open invitation for people to come, invest, collaborate, and support the Saudis in diversifying the economy and digitalizing a lot of our majors. Some of the main key differentiators about Saudi Arabia is our GDP is above $7 billion dollars. Our population is a fast-growing population. Today we're over 33.4 million. The number of labor force, mainly youth, in the Saudi labor force is over 3.2 billion, both male and female. There is a 1.6 population growth in the next 5 years. Over 50% of our population is youth, which provides a lot of opportunities. Some of the opportunities, some of the sectors opportunities in Saudi Arabia are opening up to different sectors. Some of them are already existing, and some of them are undergoing development and expansion, and some of them are totally new. The chemical sector is a very important sector in the diversification of Saudi Arabia, in which the government wants to is looking ambitiously in doubling its value. Information and technology is a very prominent sector as well. Saudi Arabia transformation aims to globally create an ICT hub, and the government is working with both the private sector and international organizations to modernize the ICT infrastructure. And we can actually already feel the transformation that is happening in different government organizations where digitalization is really at its best. The energy and water is one of the important sectors. It's an old sector in Saudi Arabia. There are many opportunities. Actually, the kingdom currently has the largest desalination market. We're looking at the energy and the water sector today from a more sustainable and environmentally friendly, where green building and sustainability is very important. And I think one of the very important G20 outcomes was the sustainability aspect. There is the industrial and the manufacturing sector. The vision is calling for diversification, and industrial and manufacturing aspect is very important. Today, the industry is being catalyzed by attractive ecosystem consisting of industrial cities that are facilitating establishing manufacturing facilities and so on. Saudi Arabia as well is focusing on health and life sciences. We can see that the health sector that was largely publicly funded today is going through a massive strategy of privatization. The mining and metal sector is also a very big, there's big opportunities within that sector. Transportation and logistics, and I believe, you know, being in the crossroad of important international trade routes gives Saudi Arabia a privilege in expanding such sector. Today we also can see that the government is heavily investing in the construction of several transport and logistic infrastructure such as ports and airports, railways, and roads. One of the promising sectors that we can see that was newly introduced, which is the tourism and cultural and entertainment sector, with many government organizations has been newly established. The Entertainment Authority has done a marvelous job in actually in growing the household spending on entertainment. The Tourism Authority, that is now a tourism ministry, has also is working on creating many touristic attractions. The Ministry of Culture is also working alongside international organizations such as UNESCO and other cultural authorities to expand and invest in local talents and preserving heritage, safeguarding national heritage and world heritage. One of the other sectors is basically the real estate sector, which is actually there is a very the government is working on recognizing how important the housing and construction sector is. Again, it is looked at it from the prism of sustainability and green building. When people ask me usually why Saudi Arabia and why should we invest in Saudi Arabia, and really Saudi Arabia has great potential. It is still a virgin country to invest and to grow and evolve things. Today, the diversification and reform journey that we went through is massive and promising. There is a game-changing opportunities by the reforms that happened in the ease of doing business and in changing regulation, opening up the country to investment, integrated infrastructure, the amount of work that has been going into the transportation industry, expanding the quality of life, where expats and investors are now enjoying a lot of privileges and a lot of better quality of lifestyle in the kingdom. There is young and skilled worker. 10 years ago, there was a massive scholarship program, and a lot of the students that came back from different countries are now working in the workforce, bringing all the skills and knowledge that they have gained throughout their education journey. Leading the financial sector, I think one of the great things in Saudi Arabia is that we have a stable monetary system. As we have seen from the previous presentation, our exchange rate is since the 80s and it hasn't changed. The banking sector has been evolving and has been introducing new products that are very beneficial, and it is very important to know that it is that Saudi Arabia is today, undergoing this change, and there are massive amounts in this transitional, a massive amount of opportunities in this transitional period. The one thing that I believe is important is that today, the amount, Saudi Arabia was a closed, for a while, perceived as a closed country. Today, you can find a lot of what I'm talking about online. There are certain focal points that will help you understand the commercial ecosystem and the investment ecosystem that will facilitate and help you, navigate your way through your investment and through your trade exchange in Saudi Arabia, such as Ministry of Investments, Invest Saudi, the Vision 2030 website. Lastly, the regulatory improvement that happened, which is an area that I work massively in. It is very important that we try to understand the major regulatory improvement that happened in Saudi Arabia. One of them is the digitalization of the legal services. Saudi Arabia has been undergoing major development in all levels, as I said before, but most notably in the development of the legal sector. In a short period, commercial courts were launched and began working, followed by that the opening of labor courts, which brought about a quantum leap for specialized judiciary system in the kingdom. This has also introduced a unique model for digital transformation, speed, performance, and paperless transactions. The Ministry of Justice has been actively working on digitalization, legal procedures, in order to organize the labor market and boost the kingdom's investment environment. Similarly, the Saudi Bar Association has created a registry for active lawyers and law firms to make it easier to investors. You can access it easily online. You can choose your legal firm and check all the information about these legal firms and their practices. To give you some of the important milestones, today you can file a case online and follow e-litigation steps through NAJAS online. Access to the case hearing, court sessions, and writing pleading sessions, you can access it online. Instant translation of non-Arabic speakers during the court sessions. Briefs in commercial cases can be exchanged electronically. Access to private licensed notary. Today, you don't need to go to a government organization to get anything attested. You can access it by certain lawyers who are licensed as registered notaries. Issuance of power of attorney can be done digitally through online NAJAS, and it's free. Case details such as ruling, decision, application, hearing sessions are also done digitally. Enforcement services orders are also done digitally. Verification services of various documents such as POA and contracts, and transferring ownership of property is also being performed digitally. So we can see that it saves a lot of time, effort, energy to embrace digitalization. Last, you can find more about the legal digitalization and legal services on NAJAS online and the Ministry of Justice, and they're both in English and in Arabic. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dahlan. And now we have Mr. Ibrahim Al-Ghamdi, Vice President, Business Strategy, and Board Member of Al Bawani Company.
Hi everyone, I'm really glad to be with you today, and I want to thank the organizers, speakers, and all attendees for being with us. And I really enjoyed the previous two presentations, and I think they gave a lot of information about Saudi Arabia and the business in Saudi Arabia and Vision 2030, and you're all and the whole world are welcome and invited to be part of the big business transformation in Saudi Arabia, and also to come and see Saudi Arabia culture. And I'm sure from all our friends, they came from around the world. They enjoyed it, and you will see the real Saudi culture, and we would love to see you in Saudi. In both presentation, and actually it covered most of the regulations and what's about strong platforms for doing business in Saudi Arabia, and some references that I'm sure that it will help all companies when they think, or even individuals when they think that to visit Saudi Arabia. So I'm not going to take it from that angle. I will go to the business and the challenges that we experience, and it's really a unique experience when in the beginning of this pandemic. This pandemic, it was a real test for the economy, the government setup, the private sector setups, and it was it's one of the critical areas that we've seen most of the companies around the world struggling to survive. The collaboration between the government and the proactive measures were put in place in Saudi Arabia minimized the impact of this pandemic. And also the collaboration between government authorities, private sector, banks, and everyone in the country, in addition to the strong IT and digitalization in the country, we were able to move quickly with a minimum destruction in the sector, and especially the EBC civil work. It was really a tough time, but with what I mentioned before was we were able to manage and minimize, and I think compared to many countries around the globe, with a big effort from all authorities and strategic partners within the kingdom, we were able to came to the end of this year with a big achievement on the social aspect or in the business aspect. We can see the numbers of the cases is decreasing. Still, some of the strategic plans that we have as part of Vision 2030 and the transformation plan on the same schedule with a little impact. Also, the digitalization in Saudi Arabia, it was really amazing, and we experienced that in our business and also in the education side, in the medical side, and what Dr. Safan just mentioned, in most of our government processes now, it's digitalized and you can do it from your computer. And that's helped in our sector too. So moving to our sector, globally, definitely there is a huge impact, an interruption in the supply chain, and most of the countries and companies isolated. So there was a closeout, and some of the resources that we went out of the country, it was really difficult to get them during this period. But as I said, all precautions and positive measures that we experienced, we were able to collaborate even with our competitors and strategic partners to deliver all ongoing projects. And also there was a big expansion, specifically in our company, Al-Bawani company, in last 2 quarters, where we were expecting that there will be no growth at all. One of the important things also, when we mentioned Vision 2030, and both speakers, they mentioned about the transformation that we are in. It's more into collaboration with international partners and bring the know-how to Saudi Arabia and collaborate in a win-win approach to bring the know-how to Saudi Arabia, increase the manufacturing, decrease the dependency, decrease the in our economy to make sure that it's diversified. At our level in our company, in the EPC civil work, I hope you can see my presentation. So,
Mr. Gambi, we can only see the first slide. Now we can see it. It says one at a glance. No. So
the reason I want to highlight, there was a successful story for Al-Bawani company, especially in last 2 quarters, and that I think it's applicable to other major companies in Saudi Arabia, and how the regulations and the collaboration from all aspects, from the healthcare, from government authority, from even among the competitors in every sector, it was a great key to our success to reach this stage. We are too optimistic about 2021, and we start feeling the indication of the healthy business and the plans that we see for next year. So basically, Al-Bawani Group, it's one of the top 5 Saudi construction firms, and we have other companies under the Al-Bawani Group. We completed more than 250 projects. Our ongoing projects more than 9 billion, and we're expecting to see that number is going to go high. Our backlog also is increasing. We have over 5 billion backlog. We're reaching, I think, by end of this year to 13,000 employees. The company started before 30 years. We are focusing in to make sure that we have all certification, international certification that we require in our business. In Saudi Arabia, we're classified as a class 1. And one of the things that we're really proud that we are diversifying, not only in the construction. Yes, the company started as a construction company, but we moved and we win a huge project in the water and power. We have our security company, real estate, plant and equipment. We're involved also in light industries, operation and maintenance, and now we're focusing even more with the changes happening in Saudi Arabia in facility management, and I think that would be a great area of interest to to collaborate with investors from or manufacturers from your end. We have our technology companies and some other sectors that we're going in. And this growth, it will give you a sample of how strong the business platform in Saudi Arabia, and it's supported by all the transformation plans. Of course, we are align our mission and vision and core values to complement the Vision 2030. We now have a big part and contribution in the new strategic projects like in Red Sea and some other Vision 2030 strategic projects. This slide is really important for me because the nationalization and localization cannot be successful without collaborating with international strategic partners from all around the globe. Basically bringing the know-how and share the experience with others and localizing that experience and also export our experience in Saudi Arabia to our market. This is one of the main goals that we have in our company, and also the government through Ministry of Investment and some other government authorities. They're facilitating our discussion with international companies from around the globe, and you would see more focus on manufacturing side in all sectors, be it in construction, in food, and also even in the tourism, mixing that modernization with keeping the Saudi traditions and cultures. And we started to see how beautiful is the output in last few years. Also, having a multinational organization within the kingdom and prepare a young generation who collaborate with international partners to make sure that we generate strong leaders, not only in Saudi market, but internationally. And we have a lot of successful stories in that area. I think when we look at Al Bawani, and I'm sure you will, when you go to the list of the companies in the kingdom in all sectors, you will see the assets that we have. It's really strong and skilled human resources. For example, in Al Bawani group, we are almost in every single province in Saudi Arabia, and expanding the business within Saudi Arabia with our international partners in different sectors within the construction business or in other also businesses, as I mentioned before. And during our work, we work with we have our strategic partners also globally. And I'm not going to in details in our owned companies, but it's really important to highlight to in every country that we're visiting or we talk to, that Saudi Arabia is changing. Even the regulations and the excitement of everyone to have a hand-to-hand successful story with international parties.
Sorry, you have 1 minute, please.
Sure, I'm finishing. So the last thing, Saudi Arabia proved to the whole world in digitalization that we are in advanced situation. And in our company, we have our digital transformation and we're adapting latest technology. I hope this gives you a sample of a successful story in Saudi Arabia, and we are really open to work with you and see you in Saudi Arabia soon. Thank you so much, and I will leave the floor for Mr. Yasser Jad. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim Al-Ghamdi, for your wonderful presentation. And now, Mr. Yasser Jad, President of Saudi Arabian Chefs Association.
Hello, everybody. As you can see, I just have a few slides to give an idea for the food and beverage service, which is my area. I guess already been introduced. My name is Yasser Jad. I am the president of Saudi Chef Association. And for the food service, actually, I give just brief, the first page, as per the announced and the reported information. Food and beverage industry in Saudi Arabia is the largest in the Middle East compared to other, and the value is almost 45 billion US. And Saudi, the SAGIA forecast that the spending of the food and beverage service will grow by 60% annually for the coming 5 years. And GDP, it's almost 10%, and it's encouraging. And just overall experience for the trend of the food service for the existing trend, it used to focus on different parameter, but now more or less on emphasizing on the overall experience, whether restaurant or product or new concept. Health and the sustainability eating is more focused nowadays in the market. It's a trend. It's really matching the going online with the Vision 2030 as well. Emergence of the home growth brand and business. It's really focused a lot in the market, and it grow a lot because a lot of young Saudi and families and entrepreneur business focus a lot in this and boosted a lot in the market. Delivery, also it's a growing business during COVID-19, and there's a lot of hubs business supporting B2B business from different layout. Why Saudi Arabia is really targeted for food and beverage investment or focal? Due to many facts, I put summarize of them here. A population is really growing and significant, which is 34.4 million. And the food and beverage market, again, in Saudi Arabia, the market, it's one of the largest, it's almost the largest in the Middle East. As I mentioned, the value is 45 million for 2018 to 2019. The market is predicting to grow and another 6%, as I said, 5 years rate. And the food and beverage consumption is almost 18% from the total extension on the food and beverage market. Total consumption almost compared to the GCC country is 60%. Around 70 billion was spent on food consumption during 2019. Food retail market. Sorry, the food retail market in Saudi Arabia growing also according to CAGR around 5% yearly. This is from 2019 to 20. And Saudi Arabia accounts on around 51% of the total food retail sales in the GCC country. Halal food business, halal food market, I mean, it's really also growing with a certain perception, very encouraging again, since the Saudi halal market is currently worth up to 60 billion. But it has also potential growth up to 1.3 trillion globally. Food and beverage investment, according to the SAGIA, they announced also the rate of growth up to 59 billion around the investment in 2020. And food important, yes, it's again 2018. Also show 10% increase in food import of different product to cover the market requirement. 35 billion by 2020. Seafood, again, percentage is 7.4 per person. So they target by 2030 to increase up to half ton. Packaging for food and other stuff related also made up to 70% of the industry, which is witnessed an expansion for the rate of 5 to 15% annually increase. Hospitality development in Saudi Arabia, again, Riyadh and Jeddah is a mega city, but the hospitality now is a journey, and it's encouraged by different cities in Saudi Arabia. We have different seasons, summer and winter, to focus and to boost the heritage and the culture and the different parameters to attract tourism and hospitality. So top 10 most active criteria in the hospitality development site up to 30 to 40 respectively. Saudi Arabia is the dramatical increase in the hotel offering highlighted by international hotel groups. Hoteliers also, the hospitality industrial growth show no sign of slowing. Still, the hotels are doubling, in particular in mega city like Riyadh and Mecca and Medina. 64,000 hotel room is really added, plus 187 hotel project under construction. It will be in as per the report was ended in 2019. Investment in leisure entertainment. The recent change in leisure to promote tourism was focused a lot to attract and focus more on this segment as a revenue segment in the market. Hospitality sector in Riyadh, the hospitality sector in Riyadh is burdening due to the country's flooding. Entertainment sector, according to the CBRE, Daraya and Riyadh are promoted a lot due to a lot of heritage factors and facility to encourage the hospitality in Riyadh. Travel booking, yes, the travel booking in Kingdom are considered the largest in the Middle East and North Africa, worth more than 25 billion each year. So will other sector growth might be decreased. Leisure is tourism. Saudi Arabia is currently in the midst of the experience to launch and to reach the objective of the leisure tourism sector, and expected 30 million visitors annually by 2030. According to the most recent annual statement, travel and tourism account for 9.4% of Kingdom Saudi Arabia total GDP growth. International visitors, the total international overnight visitor arrived in Saudi Arabia, topping 16.1 million in 2017, along with a 10.5 year-on-year increase, and is expected to be 14.4 billion. The business travel, the economic growth in factor contact with international arrival due to the increase on the average by 4% per annum to 2025 to reach 20.1 million, according to WTTC. Business travel. The business travel will be key drive for revenue, with the WTTC 2018 report that 52.8% tourism spent in Riyadh in account for the corporate visitor. Hopefully, this information encourage and give a kind of support and guideline, and really you are most welcome to ask any question and to raise anything we ever can. I can really support.
Thank you, Mr. Jad, for your presentation. And now we move on to Mr. Konstantinos Bosnakidis, Country Director, KSA, Salfo, Saudi Arabia and Associates.
I would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to participate in this webinar. I will start with a brief introduction of Salfo, and then we will move to our ongoing projects, ending with the opportunities created from COVID-19. Salfo & Associates is an international engineering and management consulting firm ranked within the best international design firms globally. Salfo was established 25 years ago in Greece. Our headquarters are still in Greece. However, since then, we managed to be present in 13 countries and operate offices in 9 of them. Besides Greece, we have offices in Southeast Europe, Malta, Cyprus, and lately we opened a new office in Pakistan. Our Middle East offices are located in Saudi, of course, Oman, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and we are now being registered in Kuwait. Our Saudi office was established almost 9 years ago, back in 2012. Our services cover the complete project life cycle. Our operations are organized into 4 main services segments: design, project management, construction supervision, and strategic advisory and consulting. We cover almost all major end markings, from urban planning to infrastructure, transportation, cultural heritage, marine, ICT, and cybersecurity, just to name a few. Currently, we are carrying out various large-scale projects with national impact, such as the King Salman Park, where we have undertaken all the infrastructure design, along with 2 tunnels of approximately 4 kilometers in total, and also 14 bridges. The project is the largest urban metropolitan park in the world. Just to give you a sense of the scale for all our the Greeks, this will be more than double the size of Ellinikon project. This is the new 12 kilometers long waterfront in Jeddah. This image is intentionally left blurred, since the project will be officially presented by His Excellency the Mayor of Jeddah. Our services here cover all design aspects, stretching from master planning to landscape, infrastructure design, marine works, architectural, and structural. This is the National Spatial Planning Act. This project will provide the Kingdom with an updated urban planning law and regulations to improve the design and planning of all the cities in the Kingdom. This is the preparation of a strategic plan for the 3 regions of northern borders, Tabuk and Nazran. These are 3 different projects that aim to prepare the strategies for the economical and spatial development of the regions, together with their capital cities. The establishment of and the operation of the National Road Safety Center for the Kingdom. We need to say that road accidents cost thousands of fatalities and injuries, and almost 3% of the Saudi's GDP. The center is considered to be a real success story for the Kingdom, for the Ministry of Transportation, having already a significant social and financial impact. GACA, this is the General Authority of Civil Aviation, has appointed Salfo to prepare the Aviation Security Manual. It's important to note that our main sub-consultant here is the Athens International Airport. The Kingdom is accelerating the development of public-private partnerships projects, and in this frame, Salfo is currently providing transaction advisory services to the Ministry of Health for 2 PPP projects. Last but not least, we have very recently completed successfully the parking management framework for the whole Kingdom. It's not a surprise that the Saudi economy suffers a huge impact from COVID-19, but at the same time, there are too many opportunities, numerous opportunities opening up in the Kingdom. We understand that these opportunities are mostly related to 3 sectors: digitalization, logistics, and healthcare. From a digitalization standpoint, ICT infrastructure like cloud infrastructure and data centers is really booming. ICT services is facing the same growth, mainly through the data analytics, cybersecurity, the digital platforms, and the business continuity services. Online courses and training are a daily practice in the kingdom, and also telemedicine is a hot topic. In terms of the logistics, we understand that industrial facilities are facing a significant growth, mainly due to the warehouses and the cold storage facilities requirements. Fleet operation management is also developing fast. Ports and airports, mainly for their cargo services, will need significant investments. In terms of healthcare, I believe it's self-evident that hospitals, laboratories, and pharmaceutical are facing a big demand in terms of investment and construction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vosnakidi, for your great presentation, and thank you to all of our speakers today. And now we will move on to the question and answer session. We only have a few minutes because we have overrun the time. However, we would like to start with some of these questions, and everything else that has come in, we will forward and share with you so that our participants may receive answers on a more individual basis, whatever we cannot cover today. So, with the questions and answers, I would like to start with Mr. Thomopoulos. Mr. Thomopoulos, there's a question for you. What does securing exports and how can we secure an export in Saudi Arabia? What does it mean to secure exports and how can we secure an export in Saudi Arabia?
First of all, securing export is something general and it does not apply only in Saudi Arabia, export to Saudi Arabia. In my opinion and in my experience, it applies to every country. Securing exports, I will tell it in very simple, means I see the payment to my bank account. This is to secure export. Till I see the payment to my bank account, I haven't made an export, I have made a gift. So, securing export does not mean my potential my potential customer is registered in a registry somewhere in a ministry or in a chamber of commerce. Does not mean that my customer exists as it has an address, phone, fax, email, tax number, VAT number, ID number. Securing export means what I have said. I see the payment to my bank account, and this has two prerequisites. First prerequisite, detailed description of the transaction terms, price, quantity, shipping date, shipping cost, redemption, handling of the defects, products, who decided what products are defects. This is the first. And the second is the secure method of payment. There are four secured methods of payment. First of all, cash in advance. But when I say cash in advance, I mean for the whole amount, not 20%, 30%, 80%. Because we don't know if we will take the other percent. Second is irrevocable credit letter or a letter of credit. Third is export insurance, means that if we don't, we insure our export invoice. And the third is factoring, but I mean about non-recourse factoring. Non-recourse factoring means that the company it's not obliged to absorb the unpaid invoices. So the unpaid invoices absorb the losses has it to the factor. That's it. I think very, very short. What we mean when we say securing exports. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomopoulos. Now we have a question that is intended for Mr. Al-Ghamdi. Mr. Al-Ghamdi, what are the current growth opportunities in the construction sector in Saudi Arabia? And how has Al-Ghawani responded to the challenges of the tough operational environment in 2020 and expected also in 2021?
Actually, there is a huge, as I mentioned before, there is a huge opportunities, especially in the construction business, plus bringing latest technology to this market. And from our experience during this pandemic, and as I said before, it's a real test on our crisis management plans that we will put it in action. It helps a lot. Definitely this with the great help from the government authority and the strong digitalization and facilitate and give more attention to the critical private sector in all sectors, not only construction, but we felt it. And I think having a strong foundation in our operational and engineering technologies with strong resources, local resources, a real collaboration with our partners and strategic partners, and using the technology to communicate with the rest of the world, that helped a lot for us to survive this period. For 21 or 2021, you can see in the announced, project and portfolio of projects, it's still healthy, and we see a great indication with all the news that we have about the vaccine and all the positive news that we hear. We're really optimistic. And last thing I would say, in last 2 weeks, I had several meetings about huge plans for 2021. And we will be really excited to collaborate with the companies from your side too.
Thank you, Mr. Al-Ghamdi, for your insights. I'm sure they would love to collaborate with you as well. So this is what we're here for today. And we have time for just one more question. This question is addressed to Mr. Bosnakidis of Salfo. And the question is related to the opportunities you mentioned in your presentation. You gave us an overview of the overall opportunities. So now it's to be more specific, what are the most attractive trade opportunities in Saudi for Greek companies within your field these days, if you can number?
Actually, we understand that there are huge potentials in the tourism and also the cultural sector. Greece has already a great reputation already established within the Saudis. The energy market is also very promising and can lead to some quick wins for all the Greek companies willing to trade with Saudi. And last but not least, the IT sector, mainly through their infrastructure and the smart city concepts, is also very promising.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bosnakidis. At this point, we would like to say farewell to all our participants and thank you for being here with us today. Thank all of our speakers and panelists for their very insightful positioning and presentations. And to let you know that ourselves here at Enterprise Greece, as well as our Office of Commercial and Economic Affairs in Saudi, are available to help all these companies that are here today to do business in Saudi Arabia, and also our speakers and panelists in the areas that they mentioned to also be available to help you out. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.